From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you here tonight inside of the Fantasy Dome to Thursday Night Throwdown. After the events last week of the draft, the rosters are set. We look towards Fantasia. I'm Seth Cole alongside the Wayfinder Cruiser Champion Jack Mitchell. And Jack, now it seems that the dust is finally settled. Everyone's focus now turns to the PLE.
Absolutely. We are now officially, once again, for the second time in FWE history, on the road to Fantasia, back here in the new look Fantasy Dome, all dressed up for Thursday Night Throwdown. Can't wait to see what we got in store for tonight.
Should be a wild one here this evening. Of course, we know as well. Well, I was going to mention about the title situation on both brands, but looks like we're going to have an appearance here by, well, maybe both members of the Disciples of Darkness, maybe Nick Gunther alone. We'll have to see. I mean, one would certainly have to wonder. Yeah, it is indeed Nick Gunther, and you know, lately he hasn't exactly been in the greatest of moods, but what transpired last week between him and Will Turner, I don't think that helped his attitude any.
I don't think it helped it in the slightest. I mean, you go back to what happened at the end of Combat Evolved, but Will Turner used the Shadow Lord disguise to sneak up on Michael Norman and cash in his power-up briefcase to win the Tri-Wizard Championship, and then he beat him in the ring one-on-one last week in the draft.
Nick was looking for a little retribution, and as you mentioned, comes up short. Microphone in hand. Apparently something to say. Let's listen in.
I don't care what happened last week. This is not over. William Turner, get your ass out into this ring right now.
Take this job and
That is not Will Turner's music.
No, it is not. Former Intercontinental Champion Robbie Gilvin, who, let's not forget, was one of the individuals that was drafted to Thursday Night Throwdown in the very first round, along with the Black Pearl crew.
All right, Nick, why don't you just do everybody a massive favor and shut your damn mouth? We get it, man. You don't like that your identity was stolen. Man, sound like you want revenge and everything. Run your damn mouth. Let's actually talk about something that matters now. We both know what like the whole championships here in FWE. But we both yet to hold that big one, that Tri-Wizard belt. As a member of this Thursday Night Throwdown roster, you know I'm laser focused on that shit. Ironically enough, I find it so funny that you're focused more on getting revenge on William Turner the person as opposed to the championship he's got around his waist. Let me tell you something. Could it be perhaps that you have focused on that championship 3 different times and you haven't gotten it any damn time? Maybe you don't have the confidence in yourself to even be the Tri-Wizard champion. So your identity is that last little sliver of something you have to hang on to. Let me tell you something, man. That's pretty sad. Tell you what, if you want William Turner that badly, you can have what's left of him once I take that title belt off his shoulder.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If this is you're going to put me at the back of the line, you got another thing coming, Kyle. The only way you're getting a shot at the Tri-Wizard Championship is by going through me. And trust me, you don't want to do that.
Well, this is a very interesting scenario I'm presented with. Now, nobody gets to declare that they're at the front of the line unless they absolutely earn it. So, Robbie and Nick, if you two want an opportunity to fight for that title, how about we settled it tonight? One-on-one, Robbie Gilvin, Nick Gunther, and the winner gets the Tri-Wizard champion, William Turner, at the upcoming PLE of Fantasia. Good luck tonight, gentlemen.
Well, how about that? Says, oh, well.
Oh, boy.
Leave it to
Cheap
Nick
shot,
Gunther with a cheap shot. Microphone in hand to the skull of Robbie Gilman. Robbie ready to spoil for a fight. And doesn't look like we're waiting. There's no referee out here. This isn't official yet, guys.
Yeah, we're not. These two aren't even interested in waiting until the main event. They're wishing to dish out all the punishment that they have right now. I mean, this is a #1 contenders match that we have in our main event later tonight for the Tri-Wizard Championship.
Gilvin and Gunther, an opportunity here tonight to be the #1 contender and fight for the Tri-Wizard title at Fantasia. What kind of condition they're going to be is the question. We got to get some referees out here, some security, break these guys up. This match isn't until later on. As up next, we've got Jasmine Black Widow to kick off the Iron Queen Championship Tournament. Can we get some security out here, please?
Split these guys up already.
And we are indeed looking forward to Fantasia. First time ever that we're heading back to a PLE, and we get ready here to kick off a tournament that is going to have ramifications towards the Fantasia PLE.
Making her way to the ring, representing the Outsiders from Babylon, the Diamond Princess.
Well, of course, with this now brand extension, it puts both Thursday Night Throwdown and Saturday Night Smash in a little bit of a situation in terms of men's and women's main titles. On the women's side for her Thursday Night Throwdown, the Iron Queen Championship has been unveiled. One woman at Fantasia will be the first one to raise that belt high, and you can see the bracket tournament to get to that PLE. Jasmine Black Widow, the first matchup taking place up next.
It will always be a very exciting time when there's a tournament for a brand new world title opportunity here, and that's what this is here with the Iron Queen Championship. This is supposed to be the equivalent of the Women's Universal Championship on Thursdays, so really looking forward to seeing what these women do with this new opportunity.
So, Shuri retained that Women's Universal Championship that you spoke of this past Saturday night on Saturday Night Smash during the second night of the draft. We also understand that on the men's side for their main title on Saturday night that Nick Fury going to be addressing that in a couple of nights' time. Black Widow, a former hardcore champion, a former Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion as well. Jasmine, a former hardcore champion. They've held mid-card titles here in FWE, but a big opportunity here tonight to advance into the semifinals, put themselves in the conversation for their first main title on the women's roster.
Black Widow is somebody that has past experience with Nick Fury. This is only something I just now thought of. I'm a little bit surprised that Nick Fury did not manage to secure Black Widow for her brand. So maybe a little bit of added motivation there to maybe to prove that he missed out on something.
Just kind of thinking of this, and I could be wrong. Well, little.
Oh boy.
Well, thinking the same thing right there between Jasmine and Black Widow. I'd have to go back and look at the notes, look at the roster, but Black Widow potentially the only Avengers member that did not get signed to the Saturday Night Smash brand. I know Hulk, Thor, Sam Wilson, I believe Susan Storm, but yeah, I think Black Widow might be the only outlier. Heck, even Spider-Man got signed to Saturday Nights.
He did. He was the first pick for Saturday Nights. Not quite sure how that ended up happening for Black Widow, but I'll have something to prove here.
Go behind waist lock here by Black Widow. A little test of strength here between these two individuals to kick this thing off. Of course, Jasmine, a representative of the Disney Queens. One of two Disney Queens that are involved in this tournament. Ariel as well. We'll be seeing her in action next Thursday night against Ellie.
Cover right here.
Lackadaisical cover there, forearm in the face, but didn't have the leg hooked. I think Jasmine kind of knew in the early going wasn't going to get a 3 count, just maybe trying to get into the mind of Black Widow, which is difficult to do because normally it's Black Widow with that agency, that Red Room background, the one that has the mental manipulation advantage.
Yeah, she certainly does. I mean, that's the reason why she was able to briefly hold the, oh my goodness, what a move there. She was able to briefly hold the Women's Cruiserweight Championship. We're going to cover here. Another lackadaisical one from Jasmine, though, and Black Widow will kick out at 1.
I think you and I talked about this last week during the 2 draft episodes, that now with these respective rosters all situated on each brand, it kind of allows individuals now as, knee right up under the jaw, cover here by Black Widow on Jasmine, and nearly picked up the victory on Jasmine quickly here in this matchup. But we mentioned about the fact that now it's not the huge expansive roster that spans between Thursdays and Saturday nights. It's a little bit more condensed, maybe a little bit easier for individuals, both men and women, to be able to put themselves into conversations for titles. You look at Jasmine, after she won the Hardcore Championship, she was on the precipice of almost getting deleted from the Disney Queens faction. Now, with an opportunity here, if she's able to advance, same for Black Widow, if they're able to advance here in this tournament, win that Iron Queen Championship, it could be something that they weren't able to do when it was a much fuller roster prior to the draft.
Absolutely. I mean, the opportunity feels like it can be there more than ever for people like Jasmine, so she's going to want to be very determined to try and take advantage of this tournament here.
Oh! Not sure if she got all of that reverse roundhouse kick to Jasmine, taking advantage of the missed springboard senton by Black Widow. Oh, now a kick to the gut there by Black Widow.
As Jasmine's stuck in this corner, this is all kinds of punishment right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, thought she was setting up for the Widow's bite. Oh, hold on.
Hang on.
We mentioned about Ariel going to be involved in this tournament next week, but looks like she's making an early appearance here, trying to maybe help out fellow Disney Queen Jasmine.
And the distraction looks like it's paying dividends right now. Black Widow has no idea that Jasmine got up to her feet.
Oh! Raja's revenge! Is that going to be enough for Jasmine to advance into the semi-finals? Hooks the leg of Black Widow, powers out at 2.
Certainly would have been, I would not have put that past the Disney Queens, especially in a matchup like this where a potential title opportunity is on the line here.
Well, it's interesting when you kind of think back to that bracket we were shown. If Jasmine's able to advance here this week, if Ariel advances next week, guess what? It's Disney Queen versus Disney Queen in the semifinals, and Ariel came out here to try and help Jasmine advance, so that would be a very interesting scenario in a couple weeks' time.
It certainly would be, and I mean, we've certainly seen that sort of situation before in different tournaments or qualifier matchups where faction member versus faction member, tag team partner versus tag team partner, but you've got to put those friendships aside when the bell rings and you're standing across the ring from each other.
Collision there. Black Widow sent into referee Ernest Wright. Jasmine with a nice vertical suplex. And Black Widow rolling to the outside for a little bit of reprieve here. Oh!
Oh!
Created space, and did she connect with the kick, or did Jasmine miss a drop kick? It was like a combination of both. I'm not sure either hit the mark.
I was going to say, I don't think either of them managed to connect with their target there. I feel like that was another situation, the second time in this matchup, where they kind of both had the same idea at the same time. Be reading each other's playbooks a little bit here.
See referee Ernest Wright almost halfway through that 10 count here. I'm honestly not sure what the scenario would be if we had a double count out. I don't know if both would be eliminated, both would advance. I don't know exactly what Commissioner Woody would have to come up with. He's already been busy tonight as he made our main event for later on this evening. Robbie Gilvin, Nick Gunther, one-on-one. Winner will get a shot for the Tri-Wizard Championship, and William Turner at the Fantasia PLE. Gunther's, he's fought for the Tri-Wizard Championship multiple times here in the past. For Robbie, this would be the first time, I believe, that he'd be in the conversation for the big one.
Yeah, Robbie, certainly he held on to the Intercontinental Championship for quite some time, which is a mainstay here on Thursday Night Throwdown, but he has not yet, I believe, had any kind of contention for the Tri-Wizard Championship in the past.
Of course, as well, we've also been told, as this seems to be the time for tournaments, everybody trying to establish number one contendership for these titles on the respective brands, but we also know that later on this evening we're going to be having the first of a round-robin tag team tournament on the women's side to eventually establish some number one contenders here on Thursday Night Throwdown. Is like for a moment Black Widow had the upper hand. Jasmine, some well-placed back elbows to the gut and a roundhouse kick. The eyes just rolled back in the head of Black Widow.
Jasmine feels like she's on the offensive right now. We're getting kind of into the late stages of this matchup. One big move like that can be all it takes to put her away.
Massive drop kick there by Jasmine. Now in control. Can she hit that kill shot to advance the semifinals? Snapping neck breaker. And smartly just staying on Black Widow, not giving her the opportunity, that window to be able to find an opening and turn the momentum around. Another Raja's Revenge.
This could be it.
Doesn't go for the cover. Going up top, might be looking for that kill shot. Desert Wind connects.
Good night.
Hooks the leg, cover is in, and Jasmine advances to the semifinals of the Women's Iron Queen Championship Tournament.
Here's your winner, the Diamond
That's the advantage of Ariel coming to the ring to help her out a little bit, but even though that didn't result directly in the pinfall, she still got the job done in the end. Jasmine moving on to the semifinals of the tournament.
And she now will await the winner next week of Ellie Williams and Ariel to see who she will face to try and make it to the finals at Fantasia. But up next, tag team action on the men's side. Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews trying to get back into number one contendership. They defeated the Friends from Work last week. Tonight they take on the New Groove. That's coming up next here on Thursday Night Throwdown.
Wow! All right! This one's finally got a mic! I can finally say as I please! Kyle, it's about damn time! After all the absolute crap that I've had, man, from singles to even tag team, we finally got a mic, it's hot, and I'm pissed! Listen, Combat Evolved didn't end the way we wanted. We're not gonna dodge that. Eddie, you walked out with the titles this time, lucky little bitches.
But don't get it twisted. Failure doesn't scare us. It fuels us. Because while you're celebrating like you did something, the thrill seekers went right back to work.
You want proof? Hulk and Thor, two wrecking balls, two monsters, two badass son of a bitches, and we dropped them flat on their backs. That wasn't about statements or spotlight. That was about reminding everyone who exactly the hell that we are.
So family, take notice. Keep one eye on those tag titles and the other on us tonight. Because when we step into the ring with the new groove, we're not chasing redemption. We're stacking momentum.
We're gonna fight, we're gonna climb, and we're gonna earn our way back to the front of the line no matter what.
No shortcuts, no excuses, just wins.
Eddie, turn up that volume, listen closely, enjoy the gold while you can. The Thrill Seekers are still breathing, and we're not gonna back down, damn it.
And we're coming back for what we know is ours. At least,
Believe it.
and maybe you might still have those precious jawbreakers that you guys enjoy so much.
I think it's pretty safe to say where the focus lies for the Thrill Seekers.
Sounded more determined than ever. That promo they just cut backstage before heading out to the ring right here, right now.
All about momentum for them tonight.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. All the way to the ring at a combined weight of 423 pounds. Dylan and Kyle Matthews, the Thrill Seekers.
We saw Kyle Matthews and Dylan Young come up short of winning the tag team titles at Combat Evolved, but hey, a victory like they had decisively last week over Hulk and Thor may be just the thing to tone the systems and give them back the confidence they may have been lacking after the previous PLE.
Yeah, I mean, taking down a tag team like Hulk and Thor is certainly no easy task. So these two definitely were up to it last time, and now a bit of an interesting duo, the new groove, when you take on Kronk and Kuzco. They kind of bring the best of both worlds similar to these two. They have the height, the size, the power in Kronk, and the high-flying maneuverability with Kuzco.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 430 pounds. Kron and Koji, dudes with attitude.
Well, you kind of look at the new groove here tonight. The Friends from Work last week, two teams that have formally gone to the top of the tag team mountain were able to claim those championships. That's kind of what Dylan and Kyle are looking for here. They lost out in the tag team titles, so they're looking to prove their worth by beating teams that have formally won the tag team championships. They don't want to face off against any type of jobbers. They want to take on people that have had championship caliber before. So far, they are 1 for 1. Can they go 2 for 2 tonight? We'll have to wait and see.
Kuzco and Kyle Matthews starting out the match, and you see Kuzco already going to work with those kicks. Hurricane Rana there for good measure. And you gotta feel like the new groove too. It's been a really long time since we've seen them with tag team gold around their waist. They gotta be extra motivated here to try and earn an opportunity. They haven't really earned a tag team title opportunity in a very long time.
It's been a long time since we've seen either of them with championship gold around their waist. Kuzco in singles action, a former Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. You've had run-ins with him in the past for that belt, but as you say, it's been a bit of a winless streak in terms of championship gold for the new groove. So, you know, while we're highlighting the Thrill Seekers trying to build momentum, a victory here tonight could put new groove in the conversation for #1 contendership as well.
Oh, roll-up maneuver here by Kuzco. I'm going to get the shoulders up before one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Massive enziguri right to the side of the head of Kyle Matthews, and now Kuzco going to work.
I'm going to tag in the big man, Kronk, and this is where I talked about the size and the power.
And I don't want to take anything away from the Friends from Work, but if you look at that tag team, basically it's power, and oh yeah, more power. Here when you look at New Groove, it's a little bit more filled out of a tag team where you got the powerhouse Kronk, but then you got the speed and agility of Kuzco.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup here because it's sort of the same thing on the side of the Thrill Seekers. This is where we're going to get the power versus power as you see Dylan Young coming in, and he's one of the few people that can actually match Crunk for height. That massive kick.
Something I noticed very interesting there when Kyle made the hot tag to Dylan, it looked like Crunk was going to head over and tag Cusco in, but then when he saw Dylan was legal, it's like he wanted that one-on-one matchup against Dylan, decided not to tag Cusco in, at least for now.
And he could very well regret that decision too, because you saw the massive kick that he met when he walked in. A little indecisive as to what he wants to do now.
That could cost him there. Dylan with a shot to the back. And now laying in the boots to the chest of Kronk, but Kronk finds a well-placed kick. Back up to a vertical base.
Oh! Just plants him with that one boot to the head. Bronco, a reversal, a bit of a measure of revenge.
Wow, Dylan standing at 6'5", and Kronk was able to get his foot all the way up there to the side of Dylan's face.
I mean, they're about the same height.
Yeah, roughly.
I think was trying to make his way back to the corner for a hot tag on the Cusco, but Dylan denied him that opportunity.
Sure, he cuts off the ring. A good defensive maneuver there by Dylan Young, who now is going to go up top. There's no way he's going to go for a senton this far. He is!
Oh, wow.
Massive, massive distance on that senton. And Cusco breaks it up. That was very nearly another victory for the Thrill Seekers.
And Cusco wasn't even having second thoughts. The moment he saw how much height, how much distance and velocity Dylan got, oh no.
Kronk might be getting ready to go to sleep. Is that enough for Dylan and Kyle to put away the new groove? All it took was a senton and a GTS.
Here are your winners, Dylan Young and Kyle Matthews, the Thrill Seekers.
Well, I would have called a victory for the Thrill Seekers a statement win regardless, but the fact they did it as quickly as they did, I think, is more so of a statement than anything.
Absolutely it is, because now you can prove that you can beat a tag team as versatile as the new group that quickly. I mean, look out for this tag team. They're more determined than ever to get that as tag team titles again.
Absolutely are. Speaking of tag team titles, we begin our round-robin tournament on the women's side. Autumn Brooks, Jessica Shelton, they tagged for the first time. Getting ready for tag team action. I apologize for that bit of cutout there at the beginning of that last commercial break. I went to look at my notes. I was trying to remember the last time that Jessica Shelton and Autumn Brooks tag team together. I was gonna say Paramount, but I don't think that's correct. I didn't want to give out false information. I can't remember what the PLEs is. I can only remember the circumstances where Autumn won #1 contendership and basically introduced Jess to FWE as a tag team, but I don't recall what PLE that was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to scroll back through the archives a little bit there in order to get that information for you. I don't think it was Paramount. Hello.
New music, as we just heard from ring announcer Mike Rome, new team name, and dare I say, maybe new attitude for Autumn Brooks and Jessica Shelton. As mentioned, the last time these two tagged together, Autumn Brooks introduced Jessica Shelton as her surprise tag team partner. They weren't exactly then what we could call a cohesive unit. It looks like that's not the case any longer here on Thursday nights.
Yeah, that has certainly changed. These two now going by the name of Mutiny, and you know, I gotta tell you from experience too, when you introduce a new look like this, new ring gear, new attitude like this, it can be really reinvigorating for you. It can really motivate you to perform even better when you're inside the ring.
A couple of women that have both formally held the Women's Hardcore Championship at certain points of their career, now looking to fight for the tag team titles. Of course, the K-pop Demon Hunters, you see there on the outside, getting ready to take them on in tag team action. 4 teams involved in this round-robin tournament. We will also include Belle and Rapunzel of the Disney Queens, Anna and Elsa of Team Let It Go. During the course of the next few weeks, we will see a round-robin tournament. Every team will take on each of the other 3 teams. The team with the highest winning record at the conclusion of that tournament will get a shot at whoever is holding the Women's Disney Tag Team titles.
Something interesting about this matchup here in particular as well, I've noticed that the K-pop Demon Hunters have gone with Zoe now in the tag team rotation here. It feels like Zoe has sort of been sticking to the singles side of things for this faction, but they haven't won any matches in any capacity so far, so I don't blame them for trying to try something new here and seeing if it works.
Yeah, maybe trying to switch things up. Rumi now on the outside, so Zoe and Mira going to try and see if they can pick up what would I believe for all of them, for Huntrix as a whole, their first victory here in FWE competition. Leg drop across the throat of Jessica Shelton, hooked the leg, and only a 1 count there for Zoe.
That would be correct. They have not won any matches, singles or tag yet. Obviously, you would not want that statistic, if I can say it right.
Easy for you to say.
It to last throughout the rest of the tournament, because if that does, then kind of makes you question what they're even doing here.
Yeah, for sure.
Big elbow drop there from the top row.
Just in a world of trouble right now in the wrong part of town, close to the enemy corner, is snap takedown there by Zoe. And now going to work on the leg. Smart there by Zoe. Of course, Jessica Shelton, a lot of her moveset, a lot of her inspiration from her favorite female wrestler, Asuka. Likes to use those martial arts kicks and chops. So if you take away the vertical base, take away the leg, you take away a big portion of Jess's offense. Mira on the top rope, ushering Jess to her feet.
Oh!
Double axe handle right across the top of the head.
Jess got right back up to her feet, but he's going to run into even more offense here. And now, oh, roll up.
Using those legs there to try and get a surprise roll up on Mira, who kicks out before referee Ernest Wright's hand comes down for a 1 count, and nice German suplex. We mentioned about the fact we're still trying to figure out what PLE it was. Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Missed with the first kick, but connected with the second. Jess and Autumn Brooks formally tagged together to win the tag team championships. That was a losing effort for the 2 of them. So as a tag team, they're currently sitting at 0-1, but it's been a long time from that point to now. A lot has changed between then and now. Both have, as mentioned, won the hardcore title. Jess on a couple of multiple occasions. Autumn Brooks most recently winning the title, and of course we saw her as well kind of embroiled for a brief time in that feud that was going on between Disney Strong Style and the Disney Queens.
I may have found it. I think it was Mortal Kombat.
Okay. I for some reason, I had three PLEs in my head. I had Paramount, which I knew wasn't correct, and then I had Fallout and Mortal Kombat. I wasn't sure which one it was.
Yeah, I had to go back and look pretty deep into the archives, but I don't see Jessica Shelton's name anywhere on the list before Mortal Kombat, so I think Mortal Kombat was the one where she introduced her. They've obviously come a long way since then, and now with this new look, they're hoping to have a new beginning here and maybe see if they can get some tag team titles around their waists.
Off the top rope, Perk and Rana there by Autumn Brooks, and Zoe wisely there to the outside, creating a little bit of separation, realizing the momentum is in the favor of Mutiny right now.
One other thing I want to mention too about this tournament format, you don't often see a round robin style tournament in wrestling, so it almost makes you wonder what the mentality is. If you lose this matchup, you're not out of the tournament.
No.
You just lost, and you're at a slight disadvantage, and you can still win out and make your way up the. I guess we'll have some standings in this tournament, so you're not necessarily out of the title picture just because you lose this first matchup, unlike normal circumstances where if you lose one match, you're done.
And I kind of was asking Woody some questions about this tournament earlier on tonight, and from what I understand, with this round-robin tournament and making sure that every team faces off against each other, is a spear there by Mira. Hold the phone. This could be the first win for the K-Pop Demon Hunters. No, kick out at 2. But we're not going to be determining ourselves #1 contenders on the women's side here until after Kingdom Jewel PLE.
Long way away still. I mean, we got to get through Fantasia first before we get to Kingdom Jewels, so this is going to go on for some time.
Gotta think somewhere backstage. Anna and Elsa of Team Let It Go, Belle and Rapunzel of the Disney Queens are watching this matchup. They know they're going to have to face off at some point against both Huntrix and Mutiny at some point during the next month and a half or so. As Autumn Brooks in a 2-on-1 disadvantage here, holding her own and actually gaining the advantage. Standing Spanish fly to Mira, who I don't believe is the legal participant.
Oh, look out! There's a run there. I'm trying to stay hot in this matchup. I thought we were going to enter into a slugfest for a moment, but instead Zoe with the Irish whip. Oh, man.
Go behind, full Nelson German suplex. Oh, and just in front of us here, Jessica Shelton put Mira into the steel steps.
Well, we completely missed the heat-seeking elbow from the top rope. It's all Mutiny right now.
Roundhouse kick by Autumn Brooks. Now up to the top rope here. What is Autumn going for? Scaling the top rope and going to score with the final cord. Is this enough to pick up the first win in this round-robin tournament? No! Zoe with the shoulder out at 2.
See the non-legal participants in this matchup are slowly working their way back to each team's corner there. So they're going to have it was a brief moment where they didn't have any reprieve, anybody to tag in, but that just changed.
Like Autumn was going up top, maybe to hit a second final cord. Zoe wisely able to make the tag there to Mira. However, walks into a blue thunder bomb.
And maybe that could be it. Autumn going to go into the cover.
Oh, and another kick out at 2.
That was such a late kick out. I feel like that could have very much been the end of the match, but instead we fight on.
Oh, Poison Rana by Autumn Brooks to Mira. Now back up top. Oh!
Doesn't hit the double axe handle.
Landed awkwardly on that left knee as well. And now Mira trying to take advantage of the situation. Scoop slam. Takes down Autumn. Now goes for the cover here on Autumn Brooks to pick up the victory and kick out at 1. Almost looked like for a moment Mira was going to go to the top rope, but then decided to go for the cover instead.
Maybe feeling a little bit of desperation sinking in for that team, perhaps?
Could very well. Misses the splash. And now Autumn Brooks. Oh, might have been setting up for maybe another blue thunder bomb there. Not exactly certain. Mira fought out of it, though. Oh, does not fight out of the Falcon Arrow, however.
Big Falcon Arrow. That could be the end of the match. Cover is in, shoulders are down.
And Mutiny will pick up their first victory here in FWE as well.
Here are your winners, Danny Brooks.
And with that, they now move to 1-0 in this round-robin tournament. Huntrix is going to find themselves at 0-1. To your point, maybe having to win out the remainder of this tournament with the early loss.
Absolutely. obviously. I mean, that's going to set you way back. You see the standings right there on the bottom and left of your screen. So, they're, especially about this matchup, too, probably going to be feeling, in their particular case, a little bit of extra desperation. They still don't have a win in FWE.
Try changing things up. It does not reap any benefits here tonight. And up next, it is the next of our qualifying matchups to get to the semifinals of the Iron Queen Championship Tournament. Well, it's very rare lately that we end up seeing Maleficent coming out to ringside alone after her alliance with Ursula, creating the unholy union that has run roughshod over the women's tag team division. But now tonight, gosh, Maleficent with an opportunity to advance into the semi-finals, a chance to become a world champion here in FWE to claim the brand new Iron Queen Championship.
One rough shot over the women's tag team division for the most part, except for the Disney Queens, I should say.
And her opponent, representing the crew from Kingston, Jamaica, Elizabeth Turner.
Well, Elizabeth Swan already has history in the women's division in terms of championships. She still holds the record as longest reigning women's universal champion. Of course, back in the day, it was known as the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy, but still holds that record. If she's able to win tonight, win in the semifinals, go on to Fantasia to win the Iron Queen Championship, she would become the first woman to hold both world championships here in Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment.
That would obviously be a massive milestone here. Of course, you know, it's very rare that you could say that you were the first champion. Only one person is going to get to say that they were the first person to hold that title belt, but to be the first person to hold both in the same division is going to be an insane feat if you can accomplish it here tonight.
I'll tell you what would also be an insane feat is if she's able to advance tonight defeating Maleficent, because there is certainly a height and power advantage in favor of one half of the Unholy Union.
We've seen it plenty of times before. That might not mean anything. I mean, it'll obviously mean something in the early stages, but it's not impossible for Elizabeth Swan to try to overcome it.
Oh, gosh. Well,
statement made.
Straight right hand takes Elizabeth Swan down in the early going, and kind of interesting. Talked about Jasmine. Congratulations to her advancing to the semifinals earlier on tonight. There's a possibility she could face off against her fellow Disney Queens mate Ariel in the semifinals on the right side of the bracket. There's also a possibility here on the left side of the bracket that Maleficent, if she advances tonight, could face off against her tag team partner Ursula, who will be taking on Snow White next week.
Nice takedown there by Elizabeth Swan. Springboard does not connect, though, from the bottom rope. I feel like maybe she should have tried to get a bit more height out of that. Now those punches to the gut.
Gosh. You could hear that shot echo through the Fantasy Dome. Great to be back here in Albany, New York. Of course, last week we spent our time, the 2 nights of the draft, in the historic Madison Square Garden, as covered there by Maleficent, and a kick out by Elizabeth Swan before referee even got to a count of 1. Of course, looking forward to our first Sunday PLE coming up on August 2nd at Fantasia, as we will be at the most magical place on earth, Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
There you go. Look out here. This is a very magical place for Elizabeth Swan.
Reverse Alabama slam, using the ropes for a little leverage there as well. And now Maleficent working on the leg of the former Women's Universal Champion.
These big, it feels like we're getting bigger and bigger here at FWE. Honestly, all these big locations that we've been to. We were just in Los Angeles for Combat Evolved. We were in Madison Square Garden for the draft. We'll be back in Madison Square Garden, or New York City, I should say, for our next edition of Paramount this December, as we got a cover here.
Massive elbow by Maleficent, and powerful kick out there by Elizabeth Swann, so still plenty left in the tank, it would appear.
Oh, man.
Completely took Maleficent off her feet. Oh! And was trying to follow up to the outside and did not connect with anything but floor.
That's about a brutal landing, as you can imagine.
Tailbone, the lower spine can get jarred. Oh, but now able to find a little bit of offense here on the outside. DDT. Head of Maleficent meeting with that very limited padding on the concrete floor.
Now the situation has sort of been reversed. Oh, Elizabeth Swann going to reset the count there by going in and out of the ring. Oh, just driving her head into the apron there.
Standing moonsault as well here on the outside. Maybe trying to use the elements outside of the ring to her advantage. Take away that heightened power advantage. And this time she will score with that springboard senton.
That was much better. She realized that her target was down, not really making any moves to get up, and capitalized on the opportunity. Lying up top
again. High risk here by Elizabeth Swann.
Whatever it takes. Oh, again.
You would think someone the height of Maleficent wouldn't be that easy to miss, but so far Elizabeth Swann has missed on a couple of occasions, and that could be the turning point of this matchup.
This matchup has taken place so far outside of the ring and between the ring and our announce table. The good news is they keep getting inside and outside of the ring, so that resets the referee's count.
Now Maleficent, dangerous enough between the ropes, now with the advantage on the outside, back in between the ropes, and might be content to take a count-out victory here. It would count just as much as a pinfall or a submission for her to advance into the semifinals.
Where he's at a count of 7. Maleficent's not really making any moves, and now Elizabeth Swann will work her way back into the ring.
Back into the arms of Maleficent here as she delivers Elizabeth Swann head first into that top turnbuckle. Uh-oh.
Not
Might be
here.
looking for another reverse Alabama slam. Just a whiplash on that.
It was a bad spot there for Elizabeth Swann, and now she's struggling to get to her feet. Back body drop right there.
And now Maleficent going up top. What is she thinking here? Oh my gosh! Massive splash from the top rope. That could be it to advance into the semifinals of the Iron Queen tournament. Elizabeth Swann out at 2.
You can see the frustration on Maleficent. She feels like that should have been the end of the match. Got a little bit complacent, and now in a bad spot.
Running power slam. And I think there might have been a little extra anger behind that impact, as now looking to shift the hips and put Elizabeth Swann into a full Boston Crab.
It's locked in deep. She's nowhere near the ropes, and I don't know. I think
she let it go.
Not sure why she would let go. I feel like Elizabeth Swann is in a world of hurt right there, but she's determined as ever. I didn't mention this yet, but there has to be some extra motivation behind this, because remember the Black Pearl crew, they were the first pick on either of the brands in the draft. They were the first team selected.
That's a great point. Look at the power. Oh my goodness. Oh! Death Valley driver by Elizabeth Swann on Maleficent. An amazing feat of strength right there.
And that could be the turning point in this matchup if she's able to capitalize on all this momentum. I mean, she was a champion for 162 days for a reason, and that tenacity is a big reason why.
Maleficent driven shoulder first into the post, and now a leg drop right across that bottom rope. Oh, but misses again with a springboard senton. She's not been able to telegraph those very well tonight.
Yeah, she's only hit one of them, but she's gone for, I think, 4. And that elbow to the knee will cut off her momentum, so now she's in a dangerous spot again.
Oh, gracious. Just like throwing a small child, Maleficent woman handling Elizabeth Swann, and now going back up to the top again.
He's calling for Swann to get to her feet. As she hits this big move here, this could be the match.
Oh!
Got some of it, not all of it.
Was it
enough
enough?
to go to the cover?
Cover is in. Forearm in the face, did not hook the leg. That could have been a costly mistake there by Maleficent. And only got a 1 count as a result.
Swann was able to fight out of whatever Maleficent was trying right there.
Oh, Pirate's Plunge!
Oh my!
Maybe the biggest Pirate's Plunge she's ever hit. Is it enough to go to the semifinals? No!
Wow!
Maleficent out at 2. Elizabeth Swann cannot believe it. Up to the top
go.
rope. Swan dive! Cover is in. Is this enough to put Maleficent away? Elizabeth Swann's going to the semifinals.
I was gonna say right before she got to the top rope, it could still be the turning point when she hit the Pirate's Plunge, and it absolutely was.
Well, a massive victory for Elizabeth Swann. She now knows that she will face off against either Snow White or Ursula in the semifinals. Jasmine waits in the wings for her opponent. Those two, Ellie, Ariel, Ursula, Snow White, will find out the winners of their respective matchups next Thursday night here in the Iron Queen tournament. But you mentioned about the Black Pearl crew being the first pick for Thursday Night Throwdown in the draft. The same can be said for Robbie Gilvin. He takes on Nick Gunther in tonight's main event. They've already come to blows tonight earlier on, but now first pinfall, first submission gets the #1 contendership for the Tri-Wizard Championship at Fantasia, and that is up next.
Take this job and shit. The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 206 pounds.
Well, Robbie Gilvin, a former Intercontinental Champion, now looks to throw his hat into the ring, so to speak, for a shot at the Tri-Wizard Championship. And it's funny, Jack, because I couldn't remember what PLE we ended up seeing Jessica Shelton and Autumn Brooks team at, but one thing that I do remember, it's in my mind like a steel trap, is not too long after Robbie lost the Intercontinental Championship, you said with what you saw out of him during that mid-card run, you would not be surprised if at some point we saw him fighting for a World Championship. Tonight could be the start to that path.
Very well could be. This is an opportunity a long time in the making for Robbie Gilvin. He could earn his way to the Tri-Wizard Championship if he defeats Nick Gunther here tonight. A lot of pressure on your shoulders too, knowing you're just one win away and you get a title match guaranteed at the next PLE.
And his opponent, representing the Disciples of Darkness, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 255 pounds, Nick King.
You talk about pressure. I think the pressure may be mounting as well for Nick Gunther. Robbie alluded to it earlier on tonight when these two went face-to-face in the ring to kick off the night. 3 times Nick Gunther has fought for the Tri-Wizard Championship. Twice against RJ Bishop, most recently against William Turner. No, correction.
They were all against RJ.
Yeah, they were all against RJ, you're correct. And so far, he is yet to win that title. If he wins tonight, it'd be his 4th opportunity, but the question is, how many shots can you get before your legitimacy for being a contender for the title ends up falling short?
I mean, I'm honestly not too sure that he's got too many shots left over. I mean, that was another thing that I was thinking about when I mentioned the pressure. Our minds were basically in the same spot there. Nick Gunther, you know, you could say that morally, in terms of attitude, he certainly feels like he got the better of RJ Bishop when he was in that feud with RJ, but at the end of the day, he still has not won any actual matches. He still has not held the Tri-Wizard Championship around his waist, so it feels like this, in a way, could be a must-win.
Of course, as well, last week suffered a pinfall loss to the current holder of the Tri-Wizard Championship, William Turner. Could be some added motivation for Nick Gunther. It could also be some mental demons as well that'll be in the back of his mind during the course of this as he goes for the early cover and only gets a 1 count on Robbie Gilvin. Something else I found a little bit interesting here. Gunther coming out here by himself. We normally see him flanked by Hades, but is this kind of, I need to prove to myself that I can go it alone?
Very well could be the case, but now Robbie gonna shoot the half. Shoulders are down and Nick will kick out at 1.
Robbie Gilvin, as mentioned, a former holder of the Intercontinental Championship. Nick Gunther, a former United States champion and a multi-time tag team champion as well. But as Robbie alluded to, neither of them have yet been able to win the big one. Winner of this matchup will get a shot at Fantasia against William Turner for the Tri-Wizard Championship as Gunther to the top rope, hits the knee right across the forehead.
Nick already in the corner calling for Robbie to get to his feet. That's a bad sign if you're Robbie.
Oh! It's a massive kick there, takes Robbie Gilvin down again. Nick Gunther firmly in control of this matchup. You gotta wonder too, it didn't last super long. Our officials and security did come out here to break them up at the beginning of the night, but they came to blows before we ended up having our first official match. I don't know if necessarily that small little scrap could have any ramifications to where these two stand physically once the bell rang for this matchup.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't very long, so I don't think any of them really incapacitated the other that much. But at the end of the day, you know, that still deals out a little bit of damage, and it puts you in a bad spot mentally going into this matchup.
William Turner certainly has to be backstage here. Won that Tri-Wizard Championship after cashing in his power-up briefcase at Combat Evolved against then Tri-Wizard champion Michael Norman.
Again, you talked about maybe it's a bit of added motivation knowing that, you know, Nick Gunther, he was frustrated. The fact that Will Turner used his identity and his appearance to cash in his power-up contract to win that title. I mean, he was mad at him, and then he challenged him to a match that night and did not win. He got pinned by Will Turner. So I think that might be some added motivation for Nick Gunther, knowing he gets another shot at Will Turner if he's able to win this matchup here tonight against Robbie.
Referee was at a count of 8, both men back in between the ropes as a stunner there by Nick Gunther. Cover here on Robbie and the kick out at 1. Yeah, but you know, also I gotta wonder too, as you talk about that, you know, Robbie mentioned about the fact that Nick Gunther, he was angry about the fact his identity got stolen by William Turner when he was able to pull off that massive heist of the championship at Combat Evolved. Does Robbie have a point that maybe Nick Gunther's priorities were a little bit skewed? He was looking more at the identity theft rather than the fact that William Turner had the championship, and that's kind of the goal that you go for here in Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment.
I mean, that's a good point, but, you know, I'm also somebody that's gone after people for stealing my finishing maneuver here, so
you do have a fair point. Oh, referee Ernest Wright, he's been in the wrong place at the wrong time a couple of times here tonight. This time, Nick Gunther runs into him, and a stunner by Robbie Gilvin. Kind of a turnabout fair play there, but not going to go for the cover, instead laying in the right hands. One thing we know about Robbie Gilvin, he is a scrapper.
Absolutely.
He will not turn down from a fight.
You know, he's got those devastating kicks, that sweet chin music mover in his back pocket.
Oh! Double knees to the back there in the corner. And now hits a axe handle right across the face. Nick Gunther, that's a cover here by Robbie, and a kick out at 2 by Nick.
I think Nick's busted open.
Yeah, one of those right hands by Robbie Gilvin, I think, busted him open. The whole right side of his face, a crimson mass. That can make things difficult to be able to see. His shot right to the gut by Gilvin. Oh, and then a forearm shot. Oh, wait a minute!
We had a feeling this was coming.
You had to know that Nick Gunther had some kind of a plan. He didn't have Hades out here with him at ringside because he was going to use him for a distraction if things went wrong. Oh, no!
Our referee's not looking.
Ernest, turn around!
Still not looking.
Oh, my... Tombstone pile driver by Hades. Referee Ernest Ray just now turning around. What do you think happened, you idiot?
Been through this before, haven't we?
And now Gunther looking to crawl into the cover. Was
Doesn't quite get
unable
there
to
in
do so.
time.
How is Robbie the first one to his feet?
That doesn't make any sense to me, but they're both on their feet now. But Nick, going to be the first one to hit a big move. I mean, Hades might have just decided this matchup.
Very well could have. Nick Gunther could be moments away from fighting for the Tri-Wizard Championship again. The cover is in, and Robbie somehow got that left shoulder up.
There wasn't a whole lot in it, though. I mean, that tombstone pile driver, we saw what that did to Aladdin. I mean, that's just one of the most devastating moves you can be on the receiving end of.
Now Nick Gunther, I don't know if he even knows what just happened. You gotta think he had a plan, though. Had a hand in Hades' appearance here tonight. Looking to take advantage. Gilvin with the reversal. Shot to the midsection by Gilvin, and somehow Gilvin is back in control after the tombstone pile driver. Ripcord lariat.
Completely turns Nick inside out, knowing, I think, looked like a vice grip.
Look at
Now
this.
he's got the crossface.
Crossface locked in. Is Gunther gonna tap out? Nowhere close to the ropes.
I think Gunther fought his way out of it. Landed some elbows to the head of Robbie.
Oh my! Oh, now Nick in the electric chair position. Forearm shot to the back of the head by Gilvin. And Gunther is down.
This has gone on. This has continued after the interference for long enough that you would have to argue Hades might not have played that big of a part in deciding this matchup, although you have to figure Robbie's still feeling the effects of that tombstone pile driver.
We don't normally see Robbie go to the top rope. This might be something new for him, and well, whatever it was going to be, he changed his mind.
When he might... Oh, I thought he was going to pay for it for a second.
Oh, Gunther with the shot to the gut, kick to the back of the head. Again, this is all for a chance to go to Fantasia to fight William Turner for the Tri-Wizard Championship. Oh,
Man,
gosh!
huge kick across the forehead.
And I think that may have busted open Robbie Gilvin. Both
It did.
combatants now bleeding.
These two are taking each other to the limit here. They know what's at stake.
Meteora in the corner by Nick Gunther, feeling the momentum is on his side. Now perched on the second rope. Too much distance to cover. Gilvin able to get out of the way.
And again, Nick gonna grab him and resume control of the matchup. Sends him into the corner. Probably with a reversal.
Back elbow, big boot to the face, maybe to that wound of Nick Gunther. Cover is in, and Gunther slips out at 2. We're in the deep waters now. One big move could be the deciding factor into whether you're going to Fantasia or not.
Probably gonna wrench on that arm. Now gonna go for that finger maneuver here.
Take away the arms, you take away the possibility of the Philadelphia special. Of course, the Zach Wheeler as well, springboard moonsault. And now Gilvin going up to the top rope. He second-guessed himself last time. This time he'll go for the knee.
And that time it connects. He's gonna go into the cover. Is this gonna be it?
Is this enough to go to Fantasia? No,
No.
again. Gunther gets the shoulder out at 2.
There was not a lot, though, in that kick out, and now Robbie tuning up the band.
boy. Sweet chin music.
Oh, but Robbie didn't fall onto his shoulders.
And you see Gunther, really smart there by Gunther to crawl over to the ropes. That way, if Gilvin had been able to capitalize on a cover, Gunter might have had an escape.
Raking that boot across
Oh!
his face, and those spurs too. That probably makes it even more devastating.
Gunter's been busted open for the better portion of this matchup.
Oh, no.
Oh boy, second time might be the charm. Second chorus of Sweet Chin Music.
That's gotta be it.
Cover is in. Robbie Gilvin is the #1 contender for the Tri-Wizard title.
Here is your winner,
This is a man who stood in my corner during my Iron Man match against Thanos. He won the DC Intercontinental Championship, and he's been building and building and building. I'd say he's more than earned this opportunity that he's going to get at Fantasia.
If we see Robbie Gilvin hit Sweet Chin Music on August 2nd, we very well may be saying new Tri-Wizard champion. Gilvin has punched his ticket to the top. He'll get a shot at that championship as he wins tonight's main event. Well, folks, we appreciate you joining us here tonight for our episode of Thursday Night Throwdown. Be sure to join us this Saturday night as we'll be back here in the Fantasy Dome for Saturday Night Smash. For Jack Mitchell, I'm Seth Cole. We'll see you guys on Saturday night. Have a good one.